Welcome and welcome back, inmates, to week 3 of the cellblock Scorch, which is the first prompt that I ever won. I am Peixe, and I hope everyone's having a lovely day today. The prompt from Cricket was Bouquet of Lies, and that is also how I titled this piece. Fair warning, I am going to attempt a southern accent, which you'd think would be easy since I'm from Texas, but unfortunately I have no skill in that area, so please have extremely low expectations for the accent. All right, let's go. Bouquet of Lies. An identity crisis, I realize belatedly. I'm having an identity crisis. How odd. I've always known precisely who I am. I suppose it wouldn't seem that way to an outsider, given the 3 driver licenses, each under a different name, laying on my bed. And some people would think me crazy for the 4 other personas I have in my head, ready at a moment's notice. But I've always been secure in the true me, only intensified by the extensions of my being I frequently let out to play. Despite this security, I've found myself longing for something more lately. I don't know what. I guess my life isn't enough anymore. I'm searching for a fulfilling purpose, as all normal people do. Then again, I've never been very normal. Before I can fall deeper into self-reflection on my idiosyncrasies, I'm interrupted by loud pounding on my door. Daisy, are you in there? I'm home and I brought flowers as a thank you for making me breakfast this morning. I casually sweep the licenses and affiliated legal documents into my run bag, alongside my gun and burner cells. Zipping it, I carry the duffel to my closet, pulling on Daisy Parker as I go. I shove the bag through a hole in my closet drywall, cover it with a painting, and call out my response. Be there in a sec, Carrie. I'm just finishing a sketch. I grab my sketchbook, flip it open on my bed, and scatter pencils around it. Standing in front of the mirror, I check my hair, makeup, jewelry, outfit. Does Daisy wear dangly emerald earrings? No, probably not. I switch them for silver butterfly studs as I slide my feet into comfy purple bunny-eared slippers. I walk into the living room of the apartment I share with my adorable roommate, Carrie, immediately seeing the flower arrangement she's brought me. It's daisies, mostly. Daisies surrounded by baby's breath with a few yellow roses. She's so thoughtful. She's already put them in a vase. Oh, Carrie, I gush. They're so pretty, and they're daisies just like me. You're so nice to me. I allow myself to become slightly teary-eyed at the gesture, rushing to Carrie and wrapping my arms around her as tightly as I can. Oh, Daisy, I love you, darling. You are just the sweetest. Yes, that's the point. Daisy is the sweetest part of me. Daisy Parker is also my name, but I have a few of those. Several of the rest are technically illegal. They exist nonetheless. As for the strictly mental ones, I don't know for certain, but Carrie would probably call them insanity. Schizophrenia, possession by devils, or whatever. They're not. Marigold, Addie, Rosalie, Miss Salvia, they aren't voices in my head. I've simply personified the different aspects of my consciousness, which isn't as maniacal as the ignorant might believe. Writers do it all the time. Not in so many words, perhaps, but where do characters come from? And actors, how can it be so effortless for some people to slip into a completely different mood, body language, or carefully crafted accent at the drop of a hat? Easy. They're like me. Thanks, Carrie. I try. I flash her Daisy's signature grin, the one that lights my whole face, making my soul shine like the sun through its windows. Aw, girl, you do so much more than try. You are a bona fide gem. How was work today? Fantastic! The customers were so friendly. I'm so lucky to have my own chair in such a prestigious salon. I even got tips. How about you? Want to tell me all about your day while we watch a rom-com and try out this fancy new popcorn I found at Target? Honey, you know I'd love to. And ordinarily I'd say yes, but Kenny is picking me up any minute now. I can't cancel on my guy, so rain check. I'm a little disappointed, but I'm Daisy Sora Parker, so of course I don't show it. Instead, I brighten my smile and hurry to get the door. Carrie's boyfriend, Kenneth, has a knack for arriving perfectly on cue. Sure enough, he knocks just as I reach the door. Before I pull it open, I respond over my shoulder in my absolute bubbliest voice. Ooh, date night, have fun. I'm sure we will. We got a bunch of plans, so don't wait up, okay? She follows her boyfriend out the door with a wave and a smile, slipping into his car for yet another evening adventure. The second they're gone, the door is locked and I'm back in my bedroom, cleaning up my art supplies and preparing for a much less respectable adventure. If it's date night for Carrie, then I suppose it's heist night for me. I've been planning this one for weeks, so it's ready to spring whenever I wish. Assuming the airs of a high-born socialite, donning the gear of a thief in the darkest night, I become Wisteria Carter. Time skip. I beat Carrie home, stow the diamonds in the safe under my bed, contact my accomplice, change into Daisy-appropriate pajamas, and lie in my bed, staring at the ceiling and sinking slowly into depression. How can I feel nothing? That was an exciting robbery, even for a seasoned professional like me. Absurdly great payoff, and I almost got caught, too. I should be awash with the thrill of victory right now. At the very least, hyped on adrenaline. But I feel empty. I sigh. I suppose I have felt a little unfulfilled before. Several times. None to this extent, but I've had my moments. Maybe the solutions weren't as simple as I've always thought. Maybe they were temporary patches, worthless quick fixes. If I think back far enough, I could see where I went wrong, correct things once and for all. Let me see. I first started feeling unnaturally out of sorts at some point in the last month, perhaps the day I got the call. Flashback. I'm window shopping today, but I might buy something if the mood strikes me. I'm not Daisy at the moment. She's more of a grocery shopper. Well, she might window shop, but she would bring girlfriends and visit Claire's in the mall. Hey, brother dear. Haven't heard from you in a while. Yeah, I've been great, you've been great, etc. Let's skip the pleasantries days. I decided to try my hand at gambling, and how much do you need, Mitch? 20K more than the last time I called you. I'll wire it in an hour. He hangs up without bothering to respond. Suddenly, a day out as Rosalie holds no appeal. It's as if that one call sucked the color out of everything and left me hollow. I don't particularly enjoy facing reality. It's freezing cold, a cold that burns to touch. End flashback. No, that would make it Mitch's fault. My problems are not caused by my brother. He can't be blamed for anything that's wrong with me. It must have been something earlier, back when I was so bored I started stealing famous jewelry and paintings and what have you to add a hint of spice to my routine. I became a criminal because saving lives in a hospital wasn't enough. And before that, I chose to become a doctor because I wanted to make a difference in the world. I needed to matter. The root of my barren heart goes farther back then, doesn't it? Because if impact and ennui were the real issues, then theoretically, I should be fine. I work in the ER by day and run high-stakes jobs by night. If I'm going to rip off the ineffectual band-aids and resolve my troubles altogether, then I might as well admit it to myself. I know exactly when it started. I don't think about these memories, ever. But it might be safe to dwell on the echoes. And if I take the plunge, I can find the answer. Fill the hole inside. Here goes. Flashback. The judge bangs his tiny hammer. It's a frightening sound, and I don't really know what's going on. Am I getting the new Parker parents that asked for me? I like them. They're funny. And the mommy hugged me so hard she cried. I'll sit in my chair and wait for them to tell me what happened. Please don't let the judge send me back. Please, please, please. The Parkers come rushing over to me. They're crying, and for a second I'm terrified. Did the judge bang his hammer to send me back? But Mrs. Parker kneels in front of me and smiles. Her smile melts my worries away. Lillian, sweetie, guess what? You get to come home with us. I flinch at the sound of my name. Every time people say Lillian instead of Lily, I get hurt. Lily, did you hear me? We're your new mommy and daddy, and this is your brother, Mitch. I smile. She didn't mean to call me Lillian. She's nice. And Mitch is smiling at me. I haven't met him yet. I reach out and shake his hand, and he grins even bigger. I've never seen people smile like the Parkers do. My old parents didn't have nice smiles. They were scary. My lip trembles, remembering. Mr. Parker notices, and he hands me a bouquet. Maybe these'll cheer you up. We got 'em to celebrate the occasion. They're lilies, for our Lily. I take them and he beams at me, but Mitch frowns, reaching for the pretty flowers. The label's wrong. It says they're daisies. Mr. Parker immediately becomes very dramatic, shaking and pretending to be horrified. Oh no, it's a bouquet of lies! I giggle at his antics until an idea occurs to me. Mrs. Parker, can I be Daisy? Can we change my name? I don't really like being Lily. Oh, darling, of course we can. If you want to start over, we can get a judge to change your name. She's crying again, but nothing sad has happened, so I think she's happy. This is perfect. If I'm Daisy, I can be a new person. I don't have to struggle with my old memories. They'll be Lily's, not mine. And, Daisy, honey, if you want to, you can start calling me Mom. End flashback. I open my eyes and wipe my cheeks. Dredging that up was harder than I thought it would be. Every time I've tried to fix myself, I've done it by reinventing myself, hiding the truth, adding a new bloom to my own personal bouquet of lies. And I don't see anything wrong with that. The real problem is that every new reinvention took me further from myself. I am Daisy, 100%. I am that sweet and that nice and that kind. Or at least I want to be. But I'm also Lily deep inside. Sad and scarred and broken. I also have a nasty, evil little piece inside that I refer to as Marigold. Addie, though, she's a front, a crutch, unnecessary. I could cut Miss Salvia, too. Reabsorb them both into who I really am, more than just a couple of characteristics. Rosalie is a great persona, but I don't need her in order to be beautiful. Dr. Evans is close, but ER doctor isn't the calling I've been searching for all my life. Wisteria Carter isn't me at all. Who am I? What do I want to be? How do I come back from the ancient wound and the mess of dirty bandages concealing it? Time skip. Tyler, you are not damaged goods. You are one of my babies. I know what you are. Priceless. No one will ever call you damaged or broken unless they want to face my wrath. That includes you, sir. You don't understand, Sora. Tyler. Honey, I used to think that I was ruined too. I tried to bury myself under false illusions of normal. And guess what? It didn't work. Do you know why? Because no part of me was broken. The real issue was that I didn't understand that. I thought I was shattered, and it dragged me down. I won't let you believe the same things that hurt me for years. Tyler bursts into tears, and I hold the 15-year-old kid close. I wish I didn't understand as well as I do, but I'm also glad. I'm grateful for the aftermath of the pain I experienced. Not the pain itself, and certainly not the ill-intentioned perpetrators, but the immeasurably valuable results of the healing made necessary by the pain, because it led me to this. I found the right puzzle piece to fill the gap in my chest. I built the most successful group home in Ohio. A home for my boys that were failed by their parents, by the foster system, by everyone else that ought to have cared for them. Little ones, sad and hurting, come under my wing needing healing and love. They get to experience that here. I get the opportunity to give that to them, to watch them grow and change and come out of their shells. I lead a happy, fulfilling life. I do still pull from a persona on occasion, but it's healthier now. I've adjusted to reality. It's warm and welcoming, no longer ice in my soul. Everything that I've experienced is part of me, and I can finally accept that. My bouquet is real and beautiful, a bouquet of life. I am finally free.
Okay, Cricket here to talk about Bouquet of Lies. This was such a fun prompt. I do not remember why I prompted it. So rip to that. It was so long ago. But I do know, I picked Peixe because I really liked how she reinterpreted the prompt and used it in two ways. The cute little flashback where the foster father goes, "Oh no, it's a bouquet of lies," was so funny to me. And then having her also think about like all of her identities and like the lies she constructed around her, that was really interesting. And so I really liked that it had this kind of like dual interpretation of the prompt.
Okay, that's where the story ends officially, the piece. Let me give some context. So, as you can tell, I answered the prompt kind of twice, right? Obviously, I said it literally with the dad's joke, and then also all of her personas are named after flowers. So, like, she's the Bouquet of Lies and things. At the time that I wrote this, way back in, must have been 2018, early 2018. Yeah. At that point in time, I was a psychology major, and running a group home was actually one of my possible career goals that I was thinking about. Uh, Sora isn't intended to represent multiple personality disorder, or I guess dissociative identity, as they're saying, but she was meant to represent a lot of deep-seated trauma, which is pulled from not things I've experienced, but from experiences of other people close to me. So anyway, she had to deal with that and overcome that, and that was kind of her story as I wrote it. At the end of the story here, I have some small notes. It says that a medium bouquet is considered 6 to 9 stems. So then I have 9 little identities I wrote out for her, and they're listed in order of appearance, how they came about, what purpose they served in her life, the name, the flower meaning, and then their status in her life by the end of it, I think. So, number 1, we have the one that came out when she was born. That's her original name, and that's Lillian Sora Gordon. The flower is a lily, which represents innocence, and it says that the status is healed. Second, we have the one created when she was adopted, which was her legal name, Daisy Sora Parker. And that's obviously a daisy, which represents purity and sweetness. So that persona has been retired. Third, we have the one created by Will Gordon's death, and yes, that is her birth dad. So that serves as her dark side. The name is Marigold Allen. The flower is a marigold, which apparently represents cruelty and spite. No, that must not be the flower meaning. That must be the meaning to her. Unless marigolds actually represent that, which I don't remember, but it's here in my notes, so I guess somebody should look that up. That still lives inside her as a shadow self, right? We all have, our shadow that we have to confront, etc., etc. Fourth, we have the persona that she created during counseling, which served as kind of a shield and sword for her, and that is Addie McIntosh. And Addie is short for gladiolus, the flower, which represents strength, and that also lives on as a shadow self. Fifth, we have one that came about while she was studying, and it's kind of her intellectual spirit. The name is Iris Salvia, which is represented by the flowers Iris and Salvia. And I have no idea if I'm pronouncing Salvia right. It might be Salvia or whatever. But those flowers represent intelligence and wisdom, and she's kept that persona as like a part of her. Number 6, we have the persona that she created when she first started being noticed by boys, right? Started being pursued by men. And that is her goddess manifestation, Rosalie Donovan, the fashionista from the mall. Or, well, I guess she was in the luxury stores. Rosalie Donovan, yes, based on a rose, which represents beauty, and that's kind of just also a part of her personality now. 7th, we have the one that came about when she was applying to med school. It was the one she assumed at work, and that's Tiana Evans, which comes from a flower Nicotiana, which represents healing, and that one is also retired. 8th, we have the one that she came up with during her first heist. It's her criminal code name, Wisteria Carter, and that's the Wisteria, mystery and deception, and that one is dead. apparently. The others say retired or healed or part of her, but that one is apparently dead. So I guess there's probably a side story living somewhere in my head from all those years ago where she faked her death. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll write that sometime. Ninth, we have where she found purpose, and that is actually her married name, which is Daisy Sora Wood, but she goes by her middle name Sora instead of her first name. And the flower is wood sorrel, which represents nurturing, and that's, the persona she mostly lives with. And we have listed her husband's name, Aaron Wood, and her daughters, Amelia and Ilithia. So that's all the notes I had at the end. And that's all the context that I think I'm going to give. So I hope you enjoyed. I prompted the next week since I won, and the prompt that I gave was sunshine is a bad omen. And the reason that that's the prompt is actually because I love cloudy skies. I don't like looking up at the sun because I have bad eyes and it hurts. And clouds are just better. They get me in a better mood for the day. And the day that I was supposed to prompt happened to be a really sunny day. So that was the prompt that I gave. All right, guys, remember that you can head to the Patreon if you want to read the losing scorches from this week or any of the past losing scorches and interact a little bit more with us. Also, if you would like to check me out on my Twitter or X, that's at Fandom Embraced. And I should have up and running some links to my other content soonish. All right, guys, keep that fire burning.
The Cellblock Scorch is a production of Stellacore, an independent group of nerds sharing their obsessions with the world. We can be reached at thestellacore@gmail.com through comments on your podcast platform of choice, our Instagram, Stella_core, and at our YouTube, also called Stellacore. Feel free to check out our other productions on our YouTube channel, our cosplays on Instagram, or if you would like to support our creative endeavors, check out our Patreon or donate to the Ko-Fi of the writer of your favorite Scorches.